We have just a few of the remaining Janome Continental M7 Professional Series sewing and quilting machines that were used during the Road to California Quilters Conference. These special machines were used only in the classroom and are on sale now.
Hello, my name is George Moore, owner of Moore's Sewing Center in Southern California, and I have a very special offer to tell you about. But first of all, let me explain why this is really my favorite sewing and quilting machine. It starts with the foundation of quality. Hear this? That's the all-metal casting. It's made like machines used to all be made. The actual frame of the machine and the casting is metal. In fact, that's what is enameled right here. This quality is a foundation that establishes them as the leader in professional series machines. First of all, this machine is the fastest. It can sew 1,300 stitches per minute, as well as its special motor. It's a 12-core brushless DC motor. This motor gives it the power to go through even the heaviest fabrics like this leather belt. There's no hesitation whatsoever. Now this has a large opening, 13.7 inches of space, and combine that with this custom table that comes with it that also has this drawer. This has so much space for even your largest quilting projects, and the lighting is truly amazing. The screen is so intuitive, so I can just browse through the various stitches, over 400 built-in stitches, and I can even select things, and when I adjust them, it shows me real-time the adjustments on the screen. I can take many of my stitches and do automatic mitered corners. I can select the angle, the size, and it's amazing how you can create these beautiful motifs. But let's get back to how this sews, okay? So the most important part about a sewing machine, besides the motor we talked about, is also the feed system. Now, this machine has a dual feed. That means it feeds on the bottom and the top. But what's unique about this, the top feeding is controlled by a motor. So that means that you see this here, this mechanism that's moving up and down, that is the feed system, but I have not attached an actual shoe on it. And I have a wide variety of different accessory feet or shoes to put on it. The one I like using the most is this extra large one, and this gives you more front feeding than any other machine. So when I'm working with like multiple layers of, you see here, denim, or let's say vinyl. This vinyl is hard to sew. This machine has no problem. And of course for quilting, it's quite amazing. So with this right here, I can even take the most difficult of fabrics. In fact, see that because the top feed is controlled by a motor, I can speed it up on the screen. I can make it go faster. So when you see here, I actually have this fake fur that's so thick that any other machine, even with the top feed, it wouldn't sew. This machine has no problem because of that precision feeding. In fact, they call it AccuFeed Flex. I have complete control. Now, you have different types of feed systems, or shoes as I called it. I can change a plate, first of all, by just pressing the icon on the screen. I can change to a high performance plate, but also the high performance feed system puts the needle all the way to the left side and gives it a single hole and single feed system so that I can work with the most difficult fabrics. Here you see this lycra with sequins. Okay, now this is very tough to work with, and so this has no problem sewing with this. So there's virtually no fabric this machine can't sew well. Now, also, this machine, as I mentioned, has 400 built-in beautiful stitches. But many machines, they have so many things to do on them, you don't know where to start. So that's where this machine has several tools to help you. Number one, I have what's called the AccuSpark app. What that means is I can take any a stitch function, and you see that the QR code, I can zap it with my phone, and it goes right to that part of the instructions. And so what that means is that I have real-time help or instructions on whatever I do, whether it's a sewing or a decorative stitch, or in this case, a ruffler. It tells me about how to set up the ruffler. But let's think about, again, how this machine has so many amazing features and stitches, but I want to make it simple. So that's what they have, what's called the sewing application pages. What this means is it funnels down the information to give you exactly what you need based on how you're going to apply it. Like in this case, I want to do piecing. So I select the quilting application function, I select piecing. It sets up a perfect a 1/4 inch with the foot. The 1/4 inch foot is shown here, and it's a scant 1/4 inch. Now I can make that adjustment to how I want, but it also adjusts the tension, the stitch length, and everything. And when I sew the first piece, it actually stops and asks me if I want the same size. And what that does for me, it memorizes it. So every time it ends at the end of that piece and raises the foot so I can put the next one in perfectly. See how easy that is? Now, let's take applique. A blanket stitch is a very popular applique. And what that stitch does, it goes 2 forward and 1 back, 2 forward and 1 back. The problem is, when I turn a corner, sometimes it goes reverse when I don't want to. With this application, I can actually tell it at the time I turn the corner. So that way, it will only do the forward motion after I turn the corner. So my corners are always perfect. It gives you so many other applications like ruler work. So I can do free motion work with rulers, and it sets everything up using the ruler work foot. It is so easy. It even has an application on it which gives you, it's called a block advisor. It gives you all the information for making the most common blocks based on the size you select. It tells you what pieces to cut. Everything is so easy.
I think you can see that this Janome Continental M7 machine is incredible. How about that incredible deal? The regular retail price of this machine is $7,999. We have the classroom models on sale while supplies last for $4,499. We have interest-free payments as well as offering free shipping across the country. But don't wait. Once we sell out of these machines, this deal is gone forever. Click on the link to order. Call us at 1-800-865-9664 or email us at customerservice@moores-so.com. Bye for now.